Hi, I'm Mike Osborne from the Benefits Office, and in this video we're going to be talking about what is a primary care physician and how to find one using our insurance. A primary care physician is your first point of contact for all health-related concerns. They provide diagnoses and treatment for medical conditions as well as preventive screenings and education. A lot of times someone who is healthy may not feel that they need to go see a primary care physician. Other times people might be afraid to contact their PCP because they don't want them to say that there's something wrong with them. But it's important to see your PCP even if you don't have any current medical conditions, because that PCP is there to watch over you and to prevent problems before they happen. After all, you change the oil in your car regularly to keep it running smoothly. You should also see your PCP every year to make sure that your health keeps running smoothly and to be checked for common issues such as high blood pressure and diabetes. If left untreated, these issues can become much more serious and more expensive for you. Early detection of these issues provides better treatment outcomes and helps to prevent unnecessary hospital visits and emergencies. Your PCP will know you and your family's history, which means that they'll be less likely to order expensive tests just to rule out medical conditions. And when you do have a medical concern, your PCP can give you advice on what you need to do, as well as schedule and coordinate any advanced medical care and any tests or labs that you might need. Well, now that you understand the importance of having a primary care physician, let's look at how to find one using our insurance. First thing you want to do is go to bcbsm.com for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. And when you're on the home page here, if you haven't signed up for an account already, you would click Already a Member and then Register Now. When you click on that, it'll take you to the registration page. You put in your first name, last name, date of birth, and then you can either do the last 4 digits of your social security number, or if you don't want to do that, the 9 digits on your insurance ID card. So put that in, hit continue. It'll ask for things like your address and what you want your username and password to be. So then you can head back to the main page once that's all done. Or if you already have an account, then you would just log in, put in your username and your password, and click login. When you get into the home screen here for your account, it'll say your name, and you can do a lot of cool stuff in here. Like, it'll tell you your balances for what your deductible is, how far you've met it so far, your co-insurance, anything like that. You can get more information about your medical coverage. You can see your claims, explanation of benefits. But what we're going to do is look at the Find a Doctor feature. So we're going to click on that. And this provides you with information about the different types of care that you can have. So we have the doctor visits here, and we'll be using this Find a PCP in just a second. But it talks about it's mild to moderate symptoms, averages about an hour is how long you wait there, and usually it's $20 unless it's a preventive visit, then that's your free annual physical. But we also have things like a 24-hour nurse line where you can either call or email a nurse, and it's no cost, it's very quick, usually within 10-15 minutes or so you'll get a response to that, and you can just ask them some simple questions if you have questions about any medical conditions that you might be facing, and that's kind of a first free line of defense for you, as well as online visits, which it doesn't have a cost here. For PPO plan members, it's free. If you're on the high deductible plan, you pay $49 for this every time you use it. So this is for mild things. I just used this with my son a week ago. It was great. It was free. It was super fast, and I really encourage you to look into that if you haven't done that before. It would just be like a video visit with a doctor. You get to choose which doctor you do. There's also information about urgent care centers for more serious things, or severe issues would go to an emergency room, obviously. But we're going to look at the doctor's office and finding a primary care physician here. So you can click on that, and what that's going to do is take you to this screen here, and it'll be the search. So it'll automatically populate your address here. I just chose the work address. You can change it just by clicking on the address up in the upper right corner, but it automatically loads our plan, so you know that this is people who participate with our insurance. And you can see just from within a 25-mile radius of our address at City Hall, there's 462 primary care physicians. So hopefully you can find one that works for you. But we're going to narrow that down quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to modify our search results and refine them. So I'm going to click on just 1 mile from my location. From there, you can select a language if it's important to speak a certain language. I'm going to do accepting new patients here. And scrolling a little bit down further, I'm going to look for, this is Total Care Plus. These are places that are designated by Blue Cross Blue Shield as having low cost but also very high quality outcomes for their members. So that's kind of the best of the best. They're recognized by the industry as being some of the best providers out there. So we want the best, we're going to choose that. You can also choose some other things like if you have a family, I would recommend maybe family medicine because they treat people of all ages, but there are other ones. I know older folks might want the geriatric medicine, but we're just going to stick with family medicine for right now because I have small kids and also my wife. And if it's important to you to choose a gender, whether it's male or female, you can also select that too. It doesn't matter to me so much. So what happened is that it narrowed down that 462 down to 3 results within 1 mile of me. And you can see some information here, but a really nice feature is that you can click compare. And so you can compare up to 5 doctors. There's 3 in the list, so I'm just going to compare them all. And then you can see that they're selected here on the bottom. I'll click compare, and it shows a side-by-side comparison of all of them. If there's any reviews, they'll be listed here. You can see what people think about them, any education, their address, their hours. So if going to see them at certain times is important, you can look at that too. Any languages that they speak, etc. So whatever one you think looks good for you, if you're interested in one, you can just click on them, and it's going to take you to their page, and it'll give you more information specifically about that. You can see more in-depth information, see a map of where they are, the ratings and everything. And then all you'd have to do is use the phone number here to call the office and to set up your appointment. So very easy and convenient way to find care, but you can also do more with this tool too. So instead of just finding a primary care physician, you can also look up to see a certain doctor if they are a network. So you can look up their name and see if they're a network there and where they are. Specialty would be finding certain people who specialize in medical conditions. So if I want to go see a podiatrist for my foot, I could look that up too. I could look up places by name, so I know that I want to see if my specific hospital is a network. I can do it that way too. Also, just searching for places by type. If you want to find a certain lab or an urgent care center near you, that's a great thing to do, to search it for that. And also cost for procedures. I want to just highlight this real quick. So if you were to look at something like an MRI, and you just search for that, we're just going to do the first option here. What you can see is that you're going to find that different places have different prices for that. So an MRI without contrast here, we're going to search by cost low to high. And you can see at this Spectrum Health Medical Group, it's going to be $343 is the average total cost for that. Maybe not what you pay, but that's what they charge. This Orthopedic Associates Michigan is $343, so that's the same price. So kind of the same price for most of these things. But here you can see Mercy St. Mary's, that's going to be $445, so that's a lot more. $450 for Metro. You can definitely tell, and of course you can narrow it down to different places too. So just know that you do always have the option to choose where you get medical care. You can choose where you get your labs done, and whatever else you want to do. You always have that right to choose lower cost options. That's good. It saves you money. It saves the plan money. It helps prevent our premiums from rising in the future. So take a couple minutes if you want to. Your primary care physician will oftentimes align that kind of work for you, but you always do have the right to choose your own healthcare providers as well. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about primary care physicians, number one, what they are, and number two, how to find them. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thanks.